What happens in a conversation that most salespeople get into, they get into the mindful conversation. See, there's two important parts of the body. There's the heart and the mind. If you start talking about the products, you're going straight to the mind. Analyze, compare. Does that get anybody's attention, yes or no? It doesn't. But yet, why do we start with that? We have to start with that heartful conversation. The conversation has got to get people enrolled, interested, engaged. So I was hired by a financial services company, big one that you all know, and their main market is conservative retirees who give them all the money to invest, and they see them once a quarter. And they said on average it took them 5 calls to get a new investor on board. They wanted to reduce that sales cycle. So I started going on a couple of calls in Chicago and St. Louis where they're knocking on retiree doors, and what they would do is they spend 15 minutes chit-chatting up the customer. Oh, these are your daughters? Are these your grandkids? Tell me about them. Oh, you're a Bears fan. That was a bad game, wasn't it? Too bad they lost, right? And I can see the eyes rolling around. They're being polite, but what are you doing here? You ever been there? So I took the financial advisor to the side. I said, look, the next time you go into the next house, I want you to cut that 15 minutes down to 2 minutes. Have the introduction, but I want you to go into this one question. When I say, look, I know you got stocks and bonds. It's not the reason I'm here. What I want to ask is a really important question. Would you mind? And most people would say yes. And the question they asked was, what are the 3 things you want your money to provide for you in the future? All of a sudden, they started getting into different conversations. It was so powerful that the sales cycle was reduced from 5 calls to 3. How much more could you produce in a year if you reduce your sales cycle from 5 calls to 3? So, I started seeing the eyes rolling up, and I said, is this really true? So we had them bring in some of the top investors to sign waivers so we can put some video cameras on them. And we started asking the question. Again, the eyes would roll up. They had to go left to right when in a thinking posture. And I knew there was a change that was happening. So my question to each and every one of you, are you asking the right questions? That's the first impression, isn't it? And it goes to the qualifying phase. Are you starting with a heartful conversation about what the struggles are, what they're trying to achieve, or are you going straight to the mindful conversation? You can't create if you go straight to the mind. You can only create if you start with the heart. Because that's when people give you the true information of what they're looking for in terms of solutions.